Imagine you're standing right in front of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. It's this massive, breathtaking rectangular solid. Usually, if we know the length, width, and height, finding the volume is just basic geometry, right? But what if we worked backward? What if you already have the total volume, the length, and the width? How on earth do you find that missing height?
Now let's make it interesting. What if those measurements aren't just neat little numbers, but massive, complex, variable expressions? We're talking about the volume represented as a hefty fourth-degree polynomial, 3x to the fourth minus 3x cubed minus 33x squared plus 54x. The length? 3x. The width? x minus 2. So what's the height? To crack this missing dimension, basic arithmetic just isn't going to cut it. We actually need to learn how to divide polynomials.
So, by the end of this explainer, you are going to deeply understand the concept of polynomial division, the fundamental formulas that make it work, and exactly how to use both long and synthetic division to solve real-world problems just like this one.
All right, let's anchor this in something you absolutely already know. Think back to elementary school math. When you divide 178 by 3, you follow a very specific repeating loop, right? You divide into the first digits, multiply your answer by the divisor, subtract that result, bring down the next digit, and just repeat. Well, guess what? Polynomial division follows those exact same logical steps. The terms of a polynomial basically just take the place of the digits and place values from normal whole number division.
Now, before we actually start crunching the numbers, we've got to understand the underlying rule here. And this brings us to the division algorithm. This formally states that any polynomial dividend, let's call it f of x, equals the divisor d of x, multiplied by the quotient q of x, plus the remainder r of x. Basically, it's exactly like saying 178 equals 3 times 59 plus a remainder of 1. It's the mathematical backbone that proves our division is actually correct.
Okay, let's actually dive right into long division. Just like standard arithmetic, we set up our division problem and follow 4 core steps. First, you determine the first term of the quotient by dividing the leading term of the dividend by the leading term of the divisor. Second, multiply that answer by the divisor and write it right below the matching like terms. Third, subtract that bottom binomial from the top. And fourth, bring down the next term. You just keep repeating this loop until you hit the very last term of the dividend.
All right, quick retention check for you. Imagine you're doing all this math. You divide, multiply, subtract. Let's say you're dividing 5x squared plus 3x minus 2 by x plus 1. You get all the way to the very end, and your remainder is exactly 0. What does that actually mean, mathematically speaking?
Well, a remainder of 0 means the divisor divides perfectly evenly. It literally means that your divisor and your quotient are perfect factors of the dividend. And honestly, this is an absolutely crucial relationship in algebra. Why? Because finding perfect factors allows us to completely break down and later on easily graph these complex polynomial functions. But what if it doesn't divide perfectly? Take a look at this third-degree polynomial long division example. We're dividing by 3x minus 2. We run through all our steps, but down at the very bottom right, notice we're left with a remainder of 1. So how do we write the final answer? It's simple. You take the quotient, and you just add that non-zero remainder as a fraction right over the original divisor. Again, exactly like arithmetic. Now, staring at all those x's, x squareds, and x cubes, you're probably asking yourself, is there a faster way to do this? Like, do we really have to write out all these variables and do all that tedious subtracting every single time we divide by a simple binomial like x minus 2?
The answer is an enthusiastic yes. Let me introduce you to a real game changer, synthetic division. This is a brilliant, highly efficient shorthand method. It's used specifically when you're dividing by a linear binomial factor in the form of x minus k. By totally stripping away all the variables and just focusing purely on the coefficients, we can knock these problems out in a fraction of the time.
Let's check out the synthetic steps. They are wonderfully simple. Instead of doing all that subtracting, we just change the sign of the divisor. So if the divisor is x minus 3, our k value becomes a positive 3. We line up the coefficients of our dividend, bring down the leading number, multiply it by k, and then, honestly, this is the best part. Instead of subtracting, we simply add the column. Then we multiply and repeat the whole shebang.
Let's actually watch this process in action. We're dividing by x minus 3, so our k value over on the left is positive 3. Our coefficients from the dividend are 5, negative 3, and negative 36. Now watch the flow. Drop the 5 down. Multiply 5 by 3 to get 15. Add -3 and 15 to get 12. Multiply 12 by 3 to get 36. Add -36 and 36 together, and boom, we get a perfect remainder of 0. Those bottom numbers, 5 and 12, give us our brand new quotient, 5x plus 12. Easy, right?
Wait, hold up. This is absolutely crucial. Look really closely at this new example. We have negative 9x to the fourth plus 10x cubed plus 7x squared minus 6. Do you see what's missing there? It skips a power of x entirely. There's literally no standard x term between the x squared and the constant. So what happens to our synthetic division columns if we just hastily write down the numbers we see?
I'll tell you what happens. If you just write the numbers you see, your columns are going to completely misalign and your math will absolutely fail. You absolutely must, and I can't stress this enough, use a 0 as a placeholder coefficient for any missing term. So your top row of coefficients wouldn't just be 4 numbers, it has to be -9, 10, 7, 0, and -6. Never ever forget that 0 placeholder.
Okay, now that we deeply understand the basic ideas of the division algorithm, and we've totally mastered our synthetic shorthand, let's connect this back to reality. Let's finally solve that Lincoln Memorial volume problem from the very beginning of our explainer. Let's map out exactly what we know. The volume is our massive polynomial. The length is 3x, the width is x minus 2. Now, we know from basic geometry that volume equals length times width times height. So we simply set up our algebraic equation using the polynomials provided, and our ultimate goal here is to isolate that missing height, h.
To isolate h, we need to divide the volume by both the length and the width. Step 1. Let's divide that massive volume expression by the length, which is 3x. Because it's just a single term, a monomial, we can divide each piece of the polynomial directly by 3x. This simplifies our dividend beautifully down to x cubed minus x squared minus 11x plus 18. Now for the final step, we just need to divide that brand new result by the width, which is x minus 2.
And hey, because we're dividing by a linear binomial, x minus 2, we get to deploy our synthetic division shortcut. We set our k value to a positive 2, we write out our coefficients, 1, -1, -11, and 18. There are no missing terms, so no zeros needed today. We drop the 1, multiply by 2, add to get 1, multiply by 2, add to get -9, multiply by 2 to get -18, and we add them up to get a perfect remainder of 0.
That bottom row of our synthetic division table gives us our final quotient. Since we started with an x cubed polynomial, our answer just drops down by 1 degree to an x squared polynomial, giving us exactly x squared plus x minus 9. And just like that, we have successfully cracked the algebraic height of the Lincoln Memorial solid.
Before we wrap this up, let's do a quick rundown of the key takeaways you should have from this explainer. First, polynomial long division perfectly mirrors the exact logical steps of standard arithmetic. Second, the division algorithm formally proves exactly how dividends, divisors, quotients, and remainders all relate to each other. Third, synthetic division is your rapid, highly efficient shortcut when dividing by x minus k. Just please don't forget your 0 placeholders. And finally, finding a remainder of 0 proves you've locked onto a perfect factor.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought. We've totally unlocked the mechanics of dividing today. We know exactly how to execute the math. But if we're handed a massive, totally unpredictable polynomial, how do we efficiently hunt down all those perfect 0 remainders so we can truly understand its roots and map out its entire graph?
Well, that is exactly the mystery we're going to uncover in our next explainer, when we dive headfirst into finding the specific zeros of polynomial functions. Until then, keep practicing those synthetic steps, and I'll see you